looking around online tonight, and I noticed that people are searching on Google for an ASB text banking scam. That's specifically what they're searching for. And this has something to do with ASB. And there's an ASB, there's a bank called ASB in Hawaii, American Savings Bank. There's also one in New Zealand named ASB, and that one is the Auckland Savings Bank. Let's go straight to my screen. As you can see here, November 30th, 2022, someone said, received this text this morning. I don't have an ASB account. Scam alert, people. If you're an ASB person, maybe don't click on the link. And the text says, ASB, your online access has been temporarily blocked due to suspicious activity. And then it says, please visit dashboard-helpdesk-verify.com to verify details. And no, that's not an official website for ASB in Hawaii or in New Zealand. Another example here, someone on Facebook said, alert, alert, watch out. This is a scam message, called the bank, and they said it is a scam. They want your bank information. Got this as a regular text, and it looked real from the bank. Alert, alert. The text says, ASB text banking, we detected suspicious activity with your accounts and have frozen them to protect your funds. Please visit servicecenter101-asbhawaii.com. So that's obviously not an ASB website. There's a dash in there to maybe try to fool people into thinking they're going to like asbhawaii.com or whatever, but this is not an official website. And so what likely is happening here is that these websites that are being advertised in these text messages from scammers, not from the banks, not from ASB Hawaii or ASB New Zealand, is that these websites are going to resemble the ASB login page, the ASB banking website. And they're trying to, it's a phishing attempt. They're trying to collect your login details. Maybe they're going to ask you for some personal information, financial data, whatever it may be. It's a phishing attempt. Another example here, someone on Facebook said, scam alert. If you get a text like this, do not call. This is not ASB, but an Australian scammer. And it says, ASB, an attempt to add D. Riton as a new trusted payee was successful. If this was not you, please call urgently on, and then that phone number there, I guarantee you goes to a scammer, does not go to ASB. If you need to contact ASB Hawaii or ASB New Zealand, either of them for any reason, then you can go to their websites, their official websites. Don't go through anything you find in a scam text message. Contact them and ask them questions there. And by the way, if you don't have an ASB account in Hawaii or New Zealand, then you're fine. Like there's nothing happening. It's potentially just that the scammers are looking for people who are ASB customers and they're hoping that they can get their login details or personal information, financial data or whatever. Or perhaps the scammers are looking to get anyone's personal information or financial data. Whatever the case, you don't want to click on the links in these sorts of texts. You don't want to call the phone number because it goes to scams. And one more example here. Someone said, a scam? I've never heard of this bank. I did not click the link. Watch out. And the text message says something here that's similar to what people were searching for, which is ASB text banking scam. It says, ASB text banking, your account has been disabled due to unusual activity. To restore access, please log in below and verify your account. And the website here, another scam website, not official, ASB-assist0hawaii.com. It's not an official website. Don't visit that website. Don't call the phone number in the other one. These all go to scams. Again, if you don't have an account with ASB Hawaii or New Zealand, you're going to be fine unless you gave out personal information and financial data through the phone numbers or links in these text messages. If you did that and you're worried and you think you gave out too much information, contact your real bank, your real credit card company, whatever it may be, whatever information you gave out, contact them, ask them what steps you can take to secure your accounts. You first want to secure your bank account and your credit card account. If you gave out any of your payment method information, for PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, anything else associated with your finances, 401k, whatever it is, make sure that those accounts are secured. Add two-factor authentication. If you don't know what that is, go to Google, type in two-factor authentication, Bank of America, or two-factor authentication, Chase Bank. Whatever bank you go with, you'll find instructions through Google. It's really simple. Two-factor authentication, by the way, it adds an additional layer of security on top of just having a password. It adds, a 6-digit code that'll be sent to your phone, something like that. So a password plus something else. That's why it's called two-factor authentication. And one more thing, if you think you gave away too much of your personal information, too much of your financial data, and you're really worried, ask your bank, depending upon what you gave away, ask your bank whether or not you need to enroll in some sort of third-party identity theft protection. They might, listen to you and tell you no, but there's a possibility for some people that the answer is yes, unfortunately. However, your bank might be able to arrange that for you, talk to them about that, figure out, whether or not that's something that they recommend. As always, I hope my video helped you out. If you fell for any online scams out there, any scams, I recommend contacting the payment method that you gave away, whether it's your bank information, your credit card information, like I said, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, like I said as well. Contact them, ask them what steps you can take to secure your accounts. That's really important. I'm spending my own free time to make videos like this one about the ASB text banking scam alert, whatever you want to call it. And, there are so many scams out there, and every day brings new scams. You see them every day. They're all over the place, and you can't possibly cover all of them. But I figured I could do a little more on my own time on nights and weekends, and that's exactly the reason I'm making this video right now. One thing we all know is that scams can sometimes hurt people. Scams can take money from people, and not everyone has money to spare. If someone loses money in a scam like this, let's say $300, $400, or even more, obviously, but $300, $400, something like that, to some people, that's not a whole lot of money, and they're going to be okay because they're financially well off. They don't want to lose $300 or $400, obviously, and it's gonna drive them crazy that they did, but they're going to be okay. But to other people, and we know this, to other people, $300 or $400 could be everything. So I hope that I can help you with my channel. So please click the like button, the thumbs up button, and subscribe. And now that I'm done with the whole banking story, I want to talk just for a second about some of my creative projects in case you're interested in watching them. You know, I try to create unique things that you can't see elsewhere on YouTube or any streaming platforms, anything like that, things that I find fascinating. So a few years ago, I created a project called New York Now and Then, which looks at photographs shot by a photographer in the 1870s and 1880s named George Bradford Bernaire. He shot them in New York City and a little bit in Brooklyn. And it's really fascinating because I took my own camera, my own tripod, to the exact same spots that he put his camera and his tripod 140 years ago, around 140 years ago. And I tried to get the same tripod height, angle, and everything down as perfectly as I could to try to match his. And the results were really, really cool. And my project, it's not so great because necessarily what I did, but because he made those photos, Bernaire made those photos available so long ago, and they've been stored for so long in a library that I was able to find them and make my own project. And it's something that I found very rewarding to do. And I also was able to pay tribute to him as a result. Also in 2016, I created a documentary called The Sidewalks of New York, which tells the story of a man named Al Smith. If you don't know who he is, he won the governorship of New York a few times in the 1910s and 1920s. Really fascinating story about from his birth to his death that tells, a little bit about the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge and the elections of 1920, 1924, 1928. And it's only an hour long. It's not like a docu-series that's going to take you 10 hours, but it's a very personal project to me that I created that took me a whole year to make in 2016. And I hope you can check that one out. It's called The Sidewalks of New York. In the past, I also documented abandoned places. One of the first places that I did was an abandoned island resort on Cayman Brac, off of Grand Cayman, miles and miles from Grand Cayman are Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. I don't know if you've ever been there, probably not as exciting as Grand Cayman, but they're these tiny islands. Cayman Brac has a population, I think 2,000 people maybe, and there's an abandoned island resort on the island, or there was, it's not there anymore. And I was able to document it with a camera before it was eventually bulldozed and taken away. After that, I created a project called Tennessee Wonderland. I went to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. In Great Smoky Mountains National Park, there's a place called Elkmont. Near Elkmont, near this old row of houses, is kind of a more hidden row of houses, a separate row of houses, or there used to be. I don't know if it's still there, but it's where the Wonderland Hotel used to be. And I took my camera up there in 2013, shot some video, and it shows an abandoned neighborhood essentially in the woods, an abandoned vacation home neighborhood. And it tells a really interesting story, not only about, like I said, the abandoned island resort, walking around, showing empty rooms or whatever, but it tells the history of the place and how people, just like on the island resort, people spent some of the best moments of their lives in this place in Tennessee as well. And I hope you can check out that project. So click my name below, or you can go to the pinned comment. There's a channel link, and you can see my other creative projects about New York, such as my old New York City photo mysteries, which take a long time to come up with, even though they're so short. Hope you can check those out. Lots of cool stuff. And I want to share it with the world. And that's why I have those projects out there. And they're a whole lot more interesting than scams. I know that. Feel free to share your story in the comments below, have discussions with each other, ask questions, and thank you so much for watching.